Well, looking ahead to later this week, we have the UEFA Champions League. And again, it's another mouth-watering game between Manchester City and Barcelona. Pep Guardiola going up against his former club. It was a horrible end to his return to the Nou Camp just a few weeks ago where they were hammered 4-0. Messi with a hat-trick. They had a player sent off. But can they make any changes? Well, we're going to look a little bit more into more detail on this with a new statistics company called InStat Football. And joining me now is their analyst of football, Evgeny Klyopov. Evgeny, welcome to Sportuccino this morning.
Yes, good morning, Richard. Hello, everybody.
So, Evgeny, we're going to talk a bit more in detail about Manchester City and Barcelona and how they got on over the weekend and what either team can expect heading into Tuesday's game. But first, just tell us a little bit more about InStat and exactly what you guys do.
Yes, I'm proud to tell that InStat is one of world leaders in football stats and analysis. We produce a variety of stats reports, detailed fitness reports. Also, we have the profound video platform with matches from all continents. So coaches, analysts, and scouts and other professionals from all over the world are among our clients.
Okay, and you work for the analysis department. What exactly do you guys do?
Yes, I direct the analysis department of InStat, and as coaches and other specialists receive tons of stats materials from us after each game and before each new game. They have not only to get it, but also know how to read and analyze it. So the analysts of my department are familiar with stats trends, and we are capable of pointing dependence of stats data on tactical aspects and oppositely. So we try to find most important figures in stats reports and make correct conclusions.
So make the most accurate figures. We've got Manchester City versus Barcelona. What a game that's going to be tomorrow night in the UEFA Champions League. So, you know, Barca won that game 4-0. What did either team learn about each other on that night, apart from that Lionel Messi's brilliant? What do the statistics tell us, Evgeny?
The first game in Champions League between Barca and Man City was very intensive. Both sides preferred to impose pressure high up the pitch from the start and whistle, and neither Luis Enrique nor Pep Guardiola wanted to let opponents build up easily. So as a result, the match was full of tackles, 99 in sum by two teams. It's much more than average stats on tackles for both sides. And what is most significant is that 39 out of 99 tackling attempts, that's almost 40%, was performed on opponent's side. And Barcelona was very efficient in it, as we can see that second and third goal were scored by Barca after pressure on opponent's side.
It's interesting you say about how Barcelona, that there were so many challenges and things like that were playing almost like an English team. And, you know, Guardiola, apart from that game against West Brom, they've really struggled against English teams. But so Man City against West Brom, 4-0, 2 goals from Aguero, 2 goals from Gundogan, Ilkay Gundogan, there we go. He got 2 goals. He's just only recently getting into the side, but there's some quite interesting statistics about his performance on Saturday, wasn't there?
Yes, he was again one of the most dangerous men with 5 shots, the same record by Aguero, their leaders. And again, Gundogan was one of the most threatening players against Barcelona. And here we saw that both Gundogan and Aguero had 2 attempts on target, and all these shots were finished with goals against West Brom. And each of them had an assist also. What is interesting is that these 2 guys, Gundogan and Aguero, managed to act in pair with 9 passes from the midfielder to forward and oppositely. And they showed the ability to drive the ball into half spaces, exploit free zones for quickly made shots. And I think we can predict that these two guys will be very dangerous for Barcelona in the midweek.
Well, that's if Aguero plays. Of course, Aguero didn't play in that game against Barcelona. For me, that made no sense why Guardiola didn't play him. Well, it made sense to him because I think he felt he could kind of pack the midfield, play that kind of false nine. But you know, when you've got such a good player like Sergio Aguero, he's the one who can actually cause a team troubles. Guardiola could then also argue, well, Bravo got sent off, that changed the whole game. But I guess we will never know. We'll just have to find out what they learned from the last game on Tuesday. So Barcelona, though, Evgeny, you know, we're used to them winning by these massive margins in La Liga against some of these smaller teams. Only 1-0 winners over Granada on Saturday. Rafinha with the only goal of the game. What happened to Messi and Neymar?
Barca had plenty of possession against Granada. They had 44 minutes of the time with the ball. I mean the time when the ball was in the game. So Granada had only 15 minutes of possession. And Granada was clever enough to tighten the lines. They used three-man defense. And it's also very interesting whether Pep Guardiola will use such kind of formation in the midweek against Barca. We remember that he did recently use this formation against Everton and Southampton, and both games ended in a draw 1-1. But against Granada, what we saw from both Neymar and Messi is that these guys can dribble the ball. They can try to make key incisive passes, but when the defense of the opponent is so tightened and there are several lines of opponents, it's not so easy for them to make the result. For example, Neymar performed only 4 successful dribbles, spending 9 attempts, and the efficiency was much worse than his usual 32% of successful dribbles. And it's significant that Neymar and Messi demonstrated the lowest passes accuracy rates in Barcelona in the match against Granada. It was only 72% and 76% correspondingly, and normally both players have more than 80%. And Messi had 4 chances, he made 4 shots, but he missed them all. So it's interesting to see whether Manchester City will try to tighten defense and midfield lines again, but maybe with some natural striker up front, because after Aguero's weekend performance, I think we should expect him in the starting lineup.
Very interesting there, Evgeny. I was really interested there to know that their percentage was lower than it normally is, normally lower than 80% for the passing. Also, Messi not being able to get shots on target. That must give some City fans some hope. You know, I think you've got a real correlation there, and you know better than me because you're the stats guy, but to me the correlation there is Neymar and Messi don't play well, Barcelona don't play well. That's what it looks like to me. Well, Evgeny, thank you so much for your time this morning. Just before you go, just remind us where we can learn more about InStat Football, please.
You can learn more on InStat homepage. It's InStatFootball.com, and also I think that InStat collaborates with media much, and you can see our stats on many media pages. So just search for it and you'll see all our best numbers, which make the correlation for all coaches in the world.
All right, very interesting. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Evgeny Klyopov, football analyst from InStat. Thank you so much.